Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the Flying Fluffy Hockey live review of the Cats' 4-1 victory last night over the Edmonton Oilers. The Panthers taking a fantastic 2-0 series lead heading to Edmonton. And of course, the news story that almost everyone is going to be, talking about probably for the rest is the Draisaitl leaving his feet and hitting Barkov in the face, directly in the face with his elbow, and getting called for a 2-minute minor.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Strafossi James, Brian Lopez, Brian V, and Icy. Hello. So, George Richards and at least a couple of you on here think that it's probably a broken jaw, which means we would be seeing the return of Bubble Barkov.
I mean, when he was going off of the ice, he was holding like his ear almost.
Yeah, he was holding like
so it's
like
just
this
a
area.
matter of if he got concussed or not from that. But I suspect, I mean, maybe at worst he's going to miss Game 3. But
so
Buffy told me last night he was okay.
Well, Maurice apparently wasn't smiling at all during the press conference. He was.
I watched it. Maurice is very similar to me in that we will wear our emotions right there. Yeah. And then the next day be like, well, I might have been a bit, so.
James says Cap Friendly says it's a jaws injury. I don't know how trustworthy that is, though.
I'm just sitting over here with the dog. Really, the biggest thing about the jaw injury, if he's not concussed, is making sure he can get proper nutrition and everything through IV. Because what's he gonna, you're gonna have to make him some special soup.
Yeah.
So he won't be eating any steak.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to blend up a steak and have him drink it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they have precautions for it.
Yeah.
It maybe it's a dislocated jaw because
that could happen too.
The angle and the force,
Right.
Which I wonder if there's a way to pop back in a dislocated jaw, like there is a way to pop back in a dislocated shoulder, and how agonizingly painful it would be. Hey, Rosado has been a member for 14 months. And of course, he uses the opportunity to say a certain musical artist sucks.
Yeah, I know.
Brian, the best response the Panthers could have for the hits is to basically not seek dirty retribution, but to basically just defeat the Oilers.
Yes.
Defeat the Oilers on their home ice.
Yes.
So, also, like somebody said, Draisaitl better keep his head up because I'm sure one of the Panthers players will most likely attempt to lay a clean hit on him. Would you agree? Or would we just settle for completely stymieing him like we've stymied most of the Oilers in this series?
I know we're not. What we don't want to do is get caught up like
Yeah.
Boston did.
Yeah,
Lose
that's
focus.
that is a good point. The Panthers need to just focus on winning the cup.
You don't want to create
Play-
a situation where, maybe he's got Draisaitl and McDavid out there at the same time, and you go for the hit, and you leave the puck there for McDavid.
Yeah.
Here you go. There you go. You don't want to do that.
So
I can't just read the chat. No.
so Colin says, I wonder if the Oilers are going to try to do what Boston did with going for more hits.
I mean, well, you saw what they tried to do last night. I mean, I have a feeling that it'll get calmed down. I mean, if we weren't going to get bullied by Boston and the Rangers and Tampa, we're not going to get bullied by Edmonton. These guys have come way too far to lose focus now, and you saw that yesterday. Now, in terms of Maurice not saying anything and the players obviously being instructed to not say anything, to be honest with you, what that makes me feel more like is that he's going to be okay. And Maurice did not want to publicly give the league safety an out to not at least look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if he says Barkov's going to be okay, then the NHL can be like, okay, phew, but if they're being quiet about it, that causes a little bit more, confusion, and it also makes take the questions about it and focus on that. So while I'm not saying Maurice was faking it, there is an element of gamesmanship there clearly being played. So, and look, the other part to it is that we already went through this when Bennett was out. If Lundell has to go up to 1C, we're not going to lose because of the difference between the defense of Barkov and Lundell. Where it will hurt us is in the third line. That's where it hurts you. So the assumption would be you would go Lundell, Bennett, Stenlund, Lorentz. That would be the assumption. But you could also move Luosterainen over to 3C and then maybe bring up, maybe Lomberg, maybe Cousins, and have, Lomberg, Luosterainen, Tarasenko. So we've got so much depth, and so many of our guys can play in so many different positions that, and you don't forget, Sam Reinhart's a center. Mm-hmm. So, really to me, the concern isn't so much about, losing the defense, because Lundell, you saw him pickpocket McDavid last night. For me, I want to build, if we had to, you want to build that third line so that we still have somewhat of an advantage the way we do with Lundell. All right, he's Go ahead.
James says we could put Cousins back on the second line.
Right. Yeah, there's any number of things that we could do. So we'll see. It'll also be interesting to see if you're going to keep Rodriguez. Because then you're talking about a top line of Lundell with Rodriguez and Reinhart. And again, you've got multiple guys on that line that can take draws. I mean, if it's Lundell, Rodriguez, and Reinhart, I'm not going to worry about that line defensively. You know what I mean? So it just dinks our massive advantage that we had with Lundell at 3C.
Farming Panther says if Chucky, who's already, as Bob said, the leader of the team, can step up, you're not worried if Barkov is out.
I mean, look, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter bitching and complaining about Kachuk. It's not his type of series. You know, there's not a whole lot going on in front of the net. Edmonton's not going to allow that. You know, not everybody is going to get goals, right? You have to have that secondary scoring, and that's what we did last night. So, you know, Chucky's not hurting us. He's not the fastest skater in the world, but you know, not every. I seen somebody say Chucky disappeared in the Stanley Cup final last year too. It's like, you dumbass, he had a broken sternum, and he tied Game 3 with the broken sternum.
So,
But I'm gonna get myself a seltzer. You want one?
yeah.
Okay.
Craig says Cats won't get derailed from the mission.
No.
Oilers poked the wrong Cats. Cats will go cleanly own the Oilers in their barn, win Game 3, and put the crushing weight all on the Oilers. That's what we're all hoping for, because surely the Panthers saw how Boston behaved after the Bennett hit. And the Panthers certainly don't want to repeat that mistake, right? The hockey guy said the Panthers like playing angry and are way more dangerous when playing angry. Yeah, Rodriguez right now is outscoring McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman. McDavid and Draisaitl have been held to 1 point. Does anyone know? It's possible that McDavid and Draisaitl combined have as many points as Okposo. Depending on, did they give Okposo an assist?
I think so. I think we saw that last night that he had an assist. I think so.
Yeah, no. Big congratulations to Evan Rodriguez for becoming the first Florida Panther in franchise history to have a multi-goal game in the finals.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No assist for Okposo. Dagnabbit.
Let him get the series. Let him get the series clinching goal.
Brian says, I'm so glad Luosterainen came back. You were worried his season was over.
Yeah, that would have sucked considering what happened to him last year. But back to that point about them being mad. I mean, I talked about that in the recap last night. You know, Edmonton, I mean, you're already down 2-0, right? But you weren't down 2-0 when you did that. I mean, it was still a 1-goal game when they did that to Barkov. So, you know, it was just a stupid move because are they not watching? Like, I don't want to be without Barkov, but the difference between, well, they took out Barkov, but now they've pissed off the Panthers. That's just a dumb move.
Jackson says, why are the Oilers giving me 2022 Panthers vibes? President's Trophy.
Yeah.
I don't know if we were ever that undisciplined as a team.
No, it's just you get frustrated. When, I mean, look, we held them to 7 shots in the first 2 periods, and they're starting to get frustrated. It's a stink bug. Or is it a moth?
That's a stink bug.
Foot. Yeah.
He's taking advantage of my hospitality.
Yeah, leave it be.
12:30 is apparently the Maurice press conference.
Oh, okay. All right. So then I guess we'll be here.
So, not the lack of discipline, the offense being shut down.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, Tampa's defense with Vasilevsky that year, that was the real deal, right? Um, I guess the biggest thing is that we already know Barkov can play with the cage. He did that already once this year, right?
When do we travel, today or tomorrow?
That's a good question.
I think it might be tomorrow.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the answer to that question.
Or well, last I heard, apparently the it's raining heavy today in South Florida, so the
Right.
Oilers might be literally waiting on the tarmac.
I don't know. It just depends on if the Panthers want to get out there a day early and get more used to the time and everything like that.
Brian says they travel tomorrow at 1.
Okay. All right.
Eisenite says, Kyle, you should offer Barkov your jaw if he needs it. You already have his beard.
Yeah.
Only problem is I give him my jaw. How am I going to do the live stream?
You and Fluffy will just moan.
Yeah.
And I'll run the stream. Oh, did you take your niacin?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because it's got a big red blotch, and I was wondering what it was, but it's your niacin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Brian Lopez says, Oilers fans boasting about how they will dominate at home. They forget we have been better on the road. I think Chucky will be big in Edmonton.
Yeah, we play better on the road. Now you got an angry, pissed off Panthers team coming into Edmonton with a chance to close out the series in Edmonton. Not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, but
well,
look, I see it all over. I mean, there's Edmonton fans on Twitter blaming the game on the refs on that on the what they call the missed delay a game, the one where the puck was just over the line like that. Yeah, they're blaming the refs. They're blaming the refs for that and for this missed call and that missed call because they're tearing it up on the power play so much that a few more opportunities that would have been the difference.
Panthers beat them in Edmonton in the regular season 5-1. Of course, there's only so much regular season impacts the postseason.
Look, experience makes all the difference, though. I mean, that play by Bouchard last night, who does that remind you of? Leaguer. You know what I mean? He panicked. He panicked, and the more pressure that Edmonton feels, the more you're going to see things like that. I mean, I get it. Oilers going to be fans of their team. I understand it, right? But if they think the Panthers are worried about a loud, raucous crowd and everything, they haven't been paying attention the last couple of years.
True says Oilers left last night after the game. We leave tomorrow.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Interesting way to do it. I guess the longer we can stay home, it'd just be like a normal.
Yeah.
Like a normal road trip.
Eisenite says, did you see Oilers fans saying Bob is cheating because his mask falls off?
Oh, yeah, I seen that one too.
Oh!
I seen that one too. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Bouchard was gassed because he was playing nurses' shifts.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yep.
Well, I'm just repeating what Jeffrey Lippin said.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. Even the players are starting to talk about it. They asked Kachuk about, why we play so well in the third period. And he alluded to, we're working hard since training camp and everybody's in really good shape. That was his words. And that's, you knew it when the season started and Maurice made that point about not having to be overly physical, but skating teams to death. They've gone out there and they have just employed a strategy here since game 4 against the Rangers, where you start off good, but then by the third period, we look better and better.
Yeah.
And we've just worn the other team down.
So, yeah, I mean, once again, the Panthers had an okay first period. One in which, Bob gave up a uncharacteristic softie to a defenseman, but then through the second and third period, we just steadily improved until we were absolutely dominating the ever-loving hell out of them.
Right.
True says Kane is playing all banged up.
Right.
How long is the plane ride for the Panthers?
I think they said it's like a 6 hour flight. I think it's like 5.5 hours.
Well, yeah, it's over 2,500 miles between Sunrise.
How long is a flight between Sunrise and Edmonton? 5.5 hours. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Colby? How you doing?
Hey, Colby.
So yeah,
what's Louis saying?
Louis is calling for what, the S word.
Yeah, I ain't talking about that. If we win game 3, then we'll talk about that. Then you can say that after if it's 3-0. If they win game 3, I got to get Matthias here for game 4.
There's number one goal. Number one goal is winning the cup.
Right.
Now, I am wondering the second best thing to winning the cup in that fashion you are talking about would be to be able to win it in front of our fans.
Yeah, I mean, you want to win it at home, but if you win game 3, I ain't going to be sitting here going, don't worry about game 4. Let's take it in game 5. You don't play around. You know what I mean?
Colby says, I shot you an email yesterday morning.
All right, Colby. Yeah. I'll have to check it out.
We're doing okay. Fluffy's doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got about 4 hours sleep last night. He's comfortable now. As long as I go over there and give him lots of constant attention, that helps him to settle down and get to sleep.
So, True, what do you mean by they are saying Badminton dominated that game last night too?
What was Messier was saying that was his. He was saying what Edmonton can hang their hat on. And he's saying it's not like the Panthers were dominating.
Brian Lopez says, got an Edmonton fan at my job who asked the owner to have the Panthers flag that I bought off of your eBay removed. Owner said no.
Oh my God. Who would be that soft to go to the boss and wah about some? Oh my God. I'm sorry. That is soft, man. That's funny. Jeez.
Apparently, Ariana Grande has been a Panthers fan since she was a kid.
Yeah.
But notice how they don't cut to her in the stands every 5 seconds.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Probably because she isn't dating Kachuk.
Yeah. I can.
So the dude said it was unprofessional to have in the cubicle.
Oh my
God. So showing your pride for your team is unprofessional.
I mean, that is what kind of job do you have? Where do you work?
So Bill thinks Draisaitl is pretty bad in pressure situations. Derek says, I hate where people are like, it's okay to lose, we'll win the cup at home. I'm like, win it whenever you have the opportunity. Don't give the other team any momentum.
Yep. No, go out there game 3. It'd be real interesting to see how Edmonton comes out, because under most normal circumstances, you would assume that Edmonton is going to be, trying to dominate that first period, and the Panthers would be just trying to survive it. But now with, it'll be, who knows what kind of energy the Panthers are going to have, because there's going to be a difference between whether or not Barkov is in or out. Like if Barkov is in, I don't want them trying to do any retribution, or if Draisaitl gets suspended. But I don't think anything's going to happen. I think we would have heard by now if he was at least going to have a hearing or something. Maybe they're going to fine him,
So Brian says defense firm legal assistance. That's his job.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hungry Zoomer says, I found out the other day that Ariana Grande was the first person to take a puck to the face at the old arena when she was 5. Let's see.
It's unprofessional to have the flag up. Good for your boss, though. Jeez. That's something else. That's so weak. I can't get over that. Stuff like that is part of the reason why I've been self-employed since since my ex was pregnant with him. I've been self-employed. I'm not good with working with other people when stuff like that happens. I don't have any. I'm not good with it, and I readily admit that. It's nobody's fault but my own. But I can't function with stupidity like that. I would not. I'm not a good suck it up for the group kind of guy. I'll lose my shit with stuff like that.
Hey MJ, thank you for the 12.
MJ, thank you, bud.
Says, hey, Jaws and Kyle, happy Tuesday.
Yes.
Fantastic game to win. Christian McCaffrey named Madden 25 cover athlete.
Huh.
Oh, God, the 49er fans are must be horrified.
Yeah.
White Sox lose their 50th game of the season. It's not even the middle of June yet.
That's crazy.
It's not even mid-June.
Right.
Technically, Elon Musk is banning all iPhones and Mac computers at his workplaces. Yikes.
Oh my God.
PK Subban said the league should look into suspension for Draisaitl personally. Colin says, personally, I don't think the league has the balls to do it.
I don't either. Somebody had said something about
what?
Right there.
Jaws, we won because Fluffy whined at Edmonton.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, that whole first period, he didn't stop whining that whole first period.
Let's see. Marlins can't even be the worst team correctly.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure I wonder if the Marlins, the White Sox are the team that can't be the worst correctly because of draft lottery rules. The White Sox can't pick any higher than 10th in this upcoming draft. I think the Marlins might have a better chance of picking much higher. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, the Panthers are heading to Edmonton tomorrow with a 2-0 series lead.
I'm gonna put my
and
I'm gonna get the stream on my phone so I can read the chat. Hopefully, the Wi-Fi is on. So Go ahead. I'll be there in a second.
Yeah, the Marlins are actually playing better than the White Sox. Donovan says, please, League, I just want my Rockies to get the first pick. Florida Marlins versus Florida Panthers baseball game. Let's go. Hey, Jeff, thank you for the 5.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, bud.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
I can't get it to... That's so weird. Why is it?
MJ says the Edmonton time change is going to be a challenge. Well, how many hours? It's what is it? It's like MJ says the Edmonton time.
It's like 3 hours, 4 hours. I think it's 4 hours. Right.
So
it's Mushroom says it's mountain time. It's only 2. Oh, okay. So that's no issue.
Oh, look, there's a Kyle in here.
That's no issue.
I think Jameson Olive said that the Oilers had only one high danger shot attempt the entire night.
No, I mean, as much as we shut them down, it really was as close to 2 shutouts in a row as you could get. Right?
So if the information we heard earlier is correct, that Maurice Presser should be going on right now.
Right. Spaceman, yeah. If we win the game, if we win game 3, I'm gonna make sure Matthias is here for game 4. Matthias will be here for any game where we could possibly win the cup. If I have to kidnap him, he'll be here.
Any thoughts of the neon knee hit? We've long since forgotten about that. I mean,
I think somebody in the chat said it looked like he got more of his thigh. I mean, I'm sure Luosterainen is sore as hell right now, but the extra day off is really going to help.
It was terrifying because it looked like one of those hits where the leg bends in the direction it's not supposed to bend.
Yeah.
But someone on Twitter had said if this were a regular season game that there were at least 3 different hits last night that could be investigated for supplemental punishment.
Right.
So that would be the hit on Barkov, the knee on knee hit. What's the third hit?
The spear in the nuts.
Oh yeah, the Kulikov.
Yeah.
Kulikov having his voice raised by several octaves.
yeah. Plus it says probably Charlie Horse. Yeah, I would imagine if he got hit on that thigh, that sucker probably
or a deep thigh bruise.
Kenneth, yeah, no, I agree. I don't think anybody's going to get suspended. But like somebody said in the comments of the Hockey Guy video, if Barkov is out, the league might want to suspend Draisaitl just so he lives through it, so that he lives.
Oilers speared a Canucks player and didn't get suspended.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, most likely nothing's going to happen there, but hopefully it's just, I mean, it's, I wonder how it must feel to be Barkov where everybody's sitting around going, oh, it's just a broken jaw. Oh, okay, he's fine. It's like, I got a broken jaw.
Yeah.
I got my mouth wired shut. I got to drink my dinner to a straw. I'm not fine. I got a cage on my head.
Someone get him free tropical smoothie.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Dog says if we really are the dirtiest team in the league, why would they think it's a smart idea to injure our captain?
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
That's a pretty good point.
JC says if we go up 3-0 for game 4, we need to play Longberg, Gadjevich, and Cousins so we can make sure we send them to the offseason with We go with mental and physical aches. Yeah, I don't. If
more important thing is winning the cup. The
yeah,
most
if
important
we win
thing
Game 3, Maurice is not going to make any changes unless somebody's hurt. I hate it for the guys, especially Lomberg and Cousins. They, it sucks for them that they're going to end up being the odd man out because, they contributed so much to what we've done. I mean, how many times did Bennett or Cousins save our ass being able to go up there on the second line and make it work?
We've got an update on Barkov. Maurice said he wasn't worse, so that's a really good thing. The real assessment will be tomorrow. If Barkov continues to make good progress, they should be in good shape.
Okay.
It wasn't the worst.
Okay.
Barkov isn't worse than yesterday. Real assessment tomorrow. And if he continues to make good progress, we'll be in good shape.
I told you. Fluffy usually don't get it wrong. And I lay down with Fluffy, and he says Barkov's going to be okay. Barkov's going to be okay. All right, that's good news. Hungry, they I don't know if they stream them live. Sometimes the Florida Panthers stream them live, but then there's a couple of places that put them out. The Panthers will put it out. George will put it out. There's a couple of, although George takes his own audio, it doesn't make any sense. The Panthers put it out with nice, clear, crisp audio. And then George puts his own audio out from his phone into an editor and fix the audio first. But that's on him.
MJ, thank you for the 5.
Thank you, MJ. Thank you, MJ.
Says Kyle, you mentioned smoothie, so I have to ask which smoothie place is the best. For me, it's toss up between Smoothie King and Jamba Juice.
It's tropical. There's another place other than Tropical Smoothie. I didn't know any place existed other than Tropical Smoothie.
So
I used to go get the big. Well, we both go. Yeah. We would go to Tropical Smoothie and get the big smoothie with the chicken wraps, and then we go boogie boarding at the beach for 2 hours, and then we get another smoothie on the way home. Colin and I have a long history of being able to eat whatever the hell we want. We don't really get fat.
Julian says, Jaws, your boy Lundell is the man this year.
Yeah,
Rodriguez and Forsling don't get enough respect either.
Yeah. Lundell is growing up, man. Lundell is growing up. Yeah, I know. Brian says sounds more like a jaw than a concussion. Yeah. If it was a concussion, he'd be in the protocol, and we'd probably automatically be out for Game 3.
So Guido says Rodriguez and Lundell got me 4 points in my locks hockey pool. That's pretty cool. What is that like? Is that a betting feed or a hockey fantasy league or something?
Yeah.
So in case you missed it, the Barkov is not worse today than he was yesterday.
Right.
And if he continues to make the real assessment will be tomorrow.
Right.
If he continues to make good progress,
which that sounds like they were worried about concussion symptoms, and he woke up this morning and didn't have them. You see what I'm saying? That's what that says to me.
Strafossi says,
Julian says, what contract extension does Lundell deserve now? That's a really good question. That is a really good question because for most of the season, you probably were thinking he's going to get $1.50, maybe $2 million. There's one part to that, and I don't want to get off on a tangent there, but at some point you will be in a decision we know about. You can't re-sign everybody. And at some point you might have to say, well, in order to genuinely afford Lundell long-term, you might not be able to have Bennett. Remember, Bennett and Verhaeghe need contracts after next season. So I know they're going to give Lundell whatever they got to give him. I suspect you'll see Montour be gone, and that'll make things okay for a while.
Yeah, how the hell did Bill Zito not win GM of the year?
But in terms of what would you give Lundell, he's still 22, so I think you're going to give him the contract that Erod got. or not Erod, Lusterinen. You probably give Lundell maybe 2 years at $3 million, and then you can afford to sign him to a nice long-term deal once Bobrovsky's off the books in a couple of years.
Yeah, cap space goes up, but we won't be able to track this on Cap Friendly because the Washington Capitals bought Cap Friendly, and they're gonna shut it down.
Schmadas. Yeah, what Nick says, 3 years, $3 million. Yeah. So anyway, that's really good. That's really good. What the news on Barkov? That's excellent. Oh, let me text my dad. He was asking me.
Okay. We'll see you later, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk out of the room to text this to him.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Let's see. Bill thinks Lundell is not going anywhere. He has friends in the support network in Florida. Brian says, I wonder what you do with Bob when his contract expires if he's still playing elite. So. Chris Wilson, the only problem with that theory, Chris Wilson, is the Rangers GM did not win it. It was the Stars GM, Jim Nill. Jim Nill has been GM of the year for 2 years in a row now. Let's see. So that is good news about Barkov. Now we just have to hope that by tomorrow, when they assess Barkov, that he's doing okay.
What's that?
I was saying, hopefully by tomorrow's assessment of Barkov.
Yeah. My guess there, like I said, is they were concerned he would wake up with concussion symptoms. He wakes up, he's not worse, and as long as he doesn't wake up tomorrow with any issues, then we should be good to go. That to me, I would almost guarantee that that's the situation. So that's really good news. That's really good news. Okay. All right. I got the check.
Okay, so Coot thinks Lundell's not going anywhere. A player that good at 22 stays. Cito will make sure of it.
Yeah, no, Lundell's not going anywhere. Remember, he's an RFA too. So even if somebody wanted to offer him a contract, even if it went that far, he's not going anywhere. And then, like I said, after this, Bob's got 2 more years on his deal. So, if we can play, what's that game where the shell game? You play the shell game with some of that money, right? Because once Bob's $10 million is off, we're going to be in good shape. And we just need a goalie. Because we don't know if we're going to keep Spencer Knight, right? So, all right.
So yeah.
Oh, Adonis has a good question. Do you think Bob will go to the Hall of Fame if we win a cup? I think especially if he gets another Vezina this year. But yeah, I think that would kind of cinch it for Bobrovsky. That's a good question.
Watch them give it to Hellebuyck instead.
I mean, I don't know how Zito doesn't win. Somebody said that the hockey guy said that they gave it to the Dallas guy because it was drafting. But to me, that's a bit of, I mean, maybe that's true, but Lundell was Zito's first draft pick, bruh, right? And the other guys can't get on the ice, not because they're not good, but because we're in the middle of winning a cup, because the GM is so good at building a team. So I don't know, man. For him to finish third again, it's like, what does he have to do? I don't know. I like what somebody said last night, though. That was funny. But they said that they were going to give it to Zito, but then they found out that he got the idea for the Kachuk trade from some YouTuber. So they figured, well, we're not going to give it to him. All right. Hey, MJ.
MJ, thank you for the 10.
Thank you, MJ. Thank you, bud.
Says Oilers are going to play very angry on Thursday. We need to prepare for that. Also, the Canadian media and Oilers fans are going to put an enormous amount of pressure on them that works in our favor.
You know what would be funny now? I know it's not going to happen, but it'd be funny now if Barkov plays game 3 and Draisaitl gets suspended. That would be. It's not going to happen, but the meltdown would be. I'd like to see that movie in the alternate universe.
Costa says, I would try to sign Tarasenko, but I don't think he will want to because they don't play him enough. Like last night, he played 11 minutes. Wow, what is that?
Well, we're playing the fourth line a lot out there. We're really managing guys' minutes pretty well. No, and with the way that Rodriguez is playing, there's really no room for Tarasenko. I know I thought I kind of wanted him to stay when I first saw him, but you got to start making room for at least one of Samoskevich or Sordiv. You got to make room for some of these guys. And I know Maurice doesn't want to play him on the fourth line. So my suspicion would be if looking at it from afar, and next year you'll have Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Kachuk, and maybe Luostarinen, and then Lundell, Samoskevich. No, Rodriguez is in there too. Yeah, maybe Rodriguez on that second line. Bennett, Kachuk, Rodriguez, and then Lundell, Luostarinen, Samoskevich. You have to start making room for some of these guys.
Craig says Lockwood too.
Yeah, well, we've already signed Gadjevich. So, unfortunately, I have a feeling that we're seeing the last of one, if not both, of Lomberg and Cousins.
Dana says, I heard the Oilers plane is on the tarmac, so I'm assuming everything is going to be delayed.
I hope the air conditioning goes out.
Great.
I hope they're sitting there sweating in that humidity. That's miserable, though. That's miserable. Be sitting out there in the tarmac in the humid and in the rain. Yeah. That air conditioning on the plane's only so good.
So,
yeah, I agree with you, MJ. Zito will find a way to make it work.
Yeah, there is we get the extra day off.
Yeah, I agree with Craig. Lorentz won't sit because he plays center and wings.
Let's see. Brian Lopez says, off subject, but did you and Jaws see that I'm Just Here for the Riots documentary?
The Riots documentary?
I'm Just Here for the Riots is the name of the documentary.
Oh, I didn't see that.
We haven't seen that.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Frosty, Ekblad he played really, really well last night. I was concerned when he got his ankle rolled, but they got spare parts back. They just sew one on. These guys, they go back in the locker room, they just sew on a new leg, right? That's the only thing that explains it. They just didn't have a spare head for Barkov.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit longer for the transmogrifier to create one of those.
Coots says, not a lot of room for Cousins, Lomberg, when it's a no-brainer to bring back Stenlund. Already have Gadjo, and Lorentz is still in the fold as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a good problem to have. It really is. if Lomberg wants to stay, he's going to have to take, $800,000 and be willing to know that he's just a guy off the bench.
April Maurice is here. Says crowd was electric last night.
That was something else.
What an amazing game.
We want the cup.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, what a game. What a place to be. I'm sure.
Costa says, too bad about Tarasenko. He's a game breaker, but Maurice never gave him a chance, and wait to see next year with another team to play him at least 16 to 18 minutes. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree, but that's just the system we play. You know what I mean? Maurice is not going to change anything for one specific player. Everybody who comes here is just, this is the role we need you to play, and that's that. So I don't think Tarasenko will be here next year, though, because even if you just took a small deal at $2 or $3 million, we don't have it. We don't have it.
Adonis says,
but no, we're set. We're good. Zito's done a really, really good job. He's really done a good job. And I want to see Sam Miskevich on the ice because Lundell's his first pick. So I want to see, what the rest of his picks can do. And we'll get there.
Buster says, I am not a Florida or Edmonton fan, but don't repay Edmonton till you have the cup in the bag.
Agreed. And really, that's how we do it. That's how we repay them anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Win game 3, win game 4. Just that was, like I said, that was a dumb move, man. These players, not only did you go after, you went after the team's captain like that. It was the risk reward ratio was not worth it for that hit. And you see Draisaitl after the game, he's like, I don't know, it was just a regular hit. I don't know what everybody basically,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he said I don't know what everybody's complaining about. I'm paraphrasing. That's not what he said. But basically he was just like, yeah, it was a regular hit. It's like, dude, man, you had to jump up to hit him with the forearm in the face. At least own it, right?
So,
like, at least Bennett was at least coy about it, right?
Yeah.
With the Marchand punch, he was like, well, I'm trying to defend myself. And I mean, at least Bennett wasn't like, what? I didn't do nothing,
Hungry Cinnamore says he took a calculated risk. He is just really bad at math.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do that, you better make sure the dude is out for the series, and he's not. So that's good.
I mean, well, was it Marchand who was saying, look, no one talks about it, but you're out there to try and injure?
Yeah. Well, it's like Steve Dangle said in his video yesterday. Of course, Marchand's going to say that because he wants to be able to keep doing the same thing himself. You know what I mean? So, hey, MJ. Thank you, MJ.
Thank you for the 5. He says, if the Panthers Cup runs were made into a movie, who would play which player and coach?
Well, Kyle would play Barkov. We got to break your jaw, though.
No.
We got to break your jaw. Right? Who would be a good Paul Maurice? Who would be a good Paul Maurice? Hey, Dana. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, Dana. All right. Thank you. Now, Dana, you're going, right? Do you leave today or tomorrow?
Silva says The Rock would play Okposo.
That's true, though. That's true.
Let's see him.
That's true. Mark Wahlberg can play Kachuk.
Vin Diesel plays Sam Bennett.
That's an interesting one.
Because, balds.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Lewis Black for Maurice.
Who would play
Giancarlo Esposito as Maurice.
Right.
What were you about to say?
I was thinking. And then, as long as we're going full bore into the movie, you got to have Jennifer Lawrence playing Emily Kaplan.
Okposo.
Okposo. I like that. Okposo, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
And Harrison Ford as grumbly old Dale Talon somewhere bitching about, I drafted that guy. I drafted that guy.
Keanu is Montour.
Yeah, okay.
The guy who plays Drago in Rocky is Mikola.
That's a good one.
Dolph Lundgren for Bobrovsky.
That's another good one.
Jameson says, I had Vin Diesel casted as Zeno.
Tom Cruise is Sam Reinhart. Yeah, Tom Cruise is Sam Reinhart.
Well, for the Sam Bennett, Vin Diesel would
be a little bit big.
Vin Diesel would be a good Zeno, but for Sam Bennett, pick any of the actors.
Bro, I'm Zeno. I get that role. Okay, all I got to do is take the hat off.
For Bennett, pick any one of those guys.
Put my eyes like this. All I got to do is take the hat off and put eyes a little bit wide open, and that's it. And talking that slower kind of tone.
Let's see. I'm trying to say for Sam Bennett, you pick any of those actors who are who have played. I think it's King. Is it King George the Fifth and Tsar Nicholas II? Like those two guys, those two kings who had like the exact same face and beard. Bennett has that look.
And then I'm already thinking Ben Affleck as Ekblad. Because Affleck with that beard, they look similar.
Al Pacino is Maurice.
Al Pacino is Maurice.
Kurt Russell. Jake Gyllenhaal is Verhage. Fabio.
Yeah, I agree there.
Fabio is Lomberg.
You okay, Fluffy?
Let's see. Shia LaBeouf is Matthew Kachuk. Okay, some of these Andrew Garfield as Luntel.
Can you get through, buddy? Come on, you want to go this way? Come on. You can go that way. Good
Jim
boy.
Carrey as Cousins.
That's funny. Did we miss anybody?
Lou Diamond Phillips as Erod. So Alexander Skarsgård as Verhage.
Who plays Randy and Goldie? I think Paul Giamatti would be a good Randy, but he might be a little bit too small. No, I have Jim Carrey play Doug Plagans and have him just like take the role a little bit. Jim Carrey is the radio guy, Doug Plagans.
Yeah.
He'd be good with that. That's a good subject.
58 Music says, much like the Panthers, a Woody Harrelson as Goldie.
No, that's actually pretty good.
58 says, much like the Panthers salary cap problems that need to be solved in player sign, your movie cast also has too many high-paid actors.
Yeah, that's true. They saved the money on me playing Zito, right? And Kyle gets to play Barkov. We'll work for cheap. You're going to have to work on the accent, though. Kyle's not real good at accents.
No, I am not good at accents.
Oh, that's funny. That's true. Who'd we leave out?
Well, the chat is going to have spent like the GDP of a small island's nation casting the whole team.
Right.
And then the GDP of
well, we can't leave out Viola and Sifu, though. I think Pacino would be better as Sifu. Or excuse me, as Viola. I think Pacino is Viola and Joe Pesci is Doug Sifu. Yeah. Pacino and Pesci as Viola and Sifu. I like it.
Let's see. George Richards says that it sounds like it's a concussion for Barkov. I don't know. The report from Maurice made it sound like that they were hoping that they were waiting to see if he would exhibit concussion symptoms.
George has been putting out negative negative tone tweets about this since last night. I mean, he just said he's not worse today, and then we should. I mean, where is he getting that from?
So
if it was a concussion, he'd be in the protocol, and he'd be out
until
for
at
game
least
3.
He'd be out until probably game 5.
Marchand missed 1 game or 2 games. I think he missed 2, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what he's. George has been putting out negative stuff about this very, very, like he said last night, if Barkov was going to be fine, Maurice would have said so. Well, not necessarily.
So, Mel Gibson as Bobrovsky. Timothy Chalamet as the shirtless kid behind the away team.
Yeah. We need him, right? Right?
Yeah, that kid apparently called the score of game 1 well before it actually happened.
Good.
Kevin Spacey as Andrew Brunette.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We need the ex-coaches, too. Maybe Harrison Ford would be better as Joel Quenneville.
So.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Jameson apparently reported that Maurice said Barkov got looked at and kind of passed that, and he's feeling better today. That's where the concussion concerns came from.
Right. So they looked at it last night. I don't know why these guys aren't being positive about this. It's easy to see the timeline. There was 9:28 left. He gets dinged. He's woozy. They have to check him for the concussion. It means he's going to miss the next 10 minutes of game time. So no matter what, he's out the rest of the game. Then you come in this morning. He's not worse. He already passed the concussion stuff yesterday, so he's still passing it now. So why is George saying it sounds like a concussion? Because it sounds like it's not a concussion. It don't make any sense.
Okay, so.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah.
I don't want to get myself all aggravated. It's good news.
Yeah, it is good news.
It's good news because if he had not passed it last night, we would have known. And the fact that he's still passing it this morning, that's good. That's good. Yes, a being clocked in the jaw can lead to a concussion, but it don't just because you get clocked in the jaw, it doesn't mean you immediately have a concussion. So I feel good about that. That's good.
Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, True says, see you in Edmonton.
Yep, exactly. All right, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. Much appreciated for all the super chats. We all just put out the good positive vibes for Barkov, good positive vibes for Fluffy. And everybody enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. We will see you next time.
Yep.
Enjoy the rest of your day.